few minutes ago. If you just popped into the room, hope you're all well. Let's do a little quick sound check. If you can hear me loud and clear and your camera's on, give me a thumbs up, please. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so we are going to cover a lot of ground today. We're going to do it pretty quickly. For those of you who may be here either your first or second or third time as a member of CFX, first of all, congratulations to you. If you're here as a guest and someone has asked you to come check this out, you're going to kick the tires on this thing yourself. A very special welcome to you also. And of course, if you're a member that's been active in the platform for some time, you're always welcome. Thanks very much for taking time out of your schedule to be here also. For those of you who have been around the block with CFX, we're going to ask you to participate in this presentation for the benefit of new members and for guests, specifically because I'd really like to make this as a productive time as possible. And I know that if I was doing my due diligence on a project and I had an opportunity to listen to a project details and hear from members using that platform at the same time, I would consider that certainly more valuable for my time, getting more than one opinion, especially more than just the opinion of the presenter. So I think it's very important for our guests to have that opportunity. So thank you all of you who will be participating in the chat. If you're new to this and you are here as a guest, play around with the settings in your Zoom right now so you can find the chat section, because that's where you're going to need to read comments from our members. Typically, it's under the heading More with the 3 dots. You'll find the chat in there. If you're on your smartphone, it's probably at the bottom of your screen. If you're on a desktop or laptop, it's probably at the top. All right, let's dive into things. We've got a lot of stuff we want to cover. First of all, we're going to play a little 90-second video for you just to bring everyone up to speed on, set the tone for what we want to cover for the next 45 or 50 minutes or so. We are obviously going to be speaking about the global Forex market, CFX. The market name is in the name of the company. This is a very significant marketplace, the global Forex market, and incredibly complicated and challenging to be successful in this market. If any of you have attempted to do such on your own in the past, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. And so one of the reasons that we know this project is gathering so much attention and gaining so much momentum is because it takes a lot of the guesswork. It takes a lot of the headache out of the process for you. So if you are someone who's simply looking to benefit from some automated trade activity because you don't have the time to do it yourself and you want to add a little more cash to the end of your month, then this is certainly a platform that can help facilitate that for you. That said, of course, there's risk in the global Forex market, and so you need to make sure, as a disclaimer, you're only risking capital that you can afford to lose. Now, the last sentence on this screen, success in the global Forex market, is only a few mouse clicks away. Making this a true statement is no easy feat. There are some very highly skilled professional people and large sums of money that have been poured into this platform infrastructure to allow it to do what it does for us in a very easy way. So we're going to cover all of those bases for you as well, so you understand who's behind it, what's being spent, where it's being spent, the track record of the project, etc. So let's dive into things. First, let's check out this very short video presentation.
This year, we are seeing the dream of financial freedom being pushed further and further away from millions of people. Record business closures and massive global layoffs are pushing people's budgets to the breaking point and having a dramatic effect on their quality of life. Many people are being forced to survive on credit, paying today's bills with tomorrow's wages. This is a guaranteed path to financial disaster. Are you currently enjoying the lifestyle that you're working so hard to achieve? In contrast to these statistics, the wealthiest of our populations increase their net worth year after year, and they're able to accelerate their wealth during economic downturns. How is this possible? Financially experienced people put wealth-building principles to work for them, rather than trading their time for a wage. In the following video, we'll introduce you to 2 of these powerful principles and show you how you can get them working for you right away. At CFX, we believe the opportunity to create financial abundance is the right of every person. A better life can begin now. Start your journey with us today. It will be the most empowering change you've ever made.
So that video is important because A, it's very short, and B, it's straight to the point. We at CFX, of course, this is the principles of CFX believe it is the right of every person to create financial independence for themselves. Certainly financial independence, and certainly financial security. Security comes before all else. And in this particular COVID era, people are getting their rear ends kicked in multiple ways. And if you're watching this and you're taking a beating right now, or are feeling a great deal of insecurity in your own life financially, this is, I'm sure it's not, I'm certainly no stranger to that. That's part of entrepreneurship. There's hills and valleys and everything we do. That said, of course, there are certainly some unfair challenges that are being thrust on the shoulders of many people and many students alike that are being forced out of classrooms, et cetera. So we're going to talk about a couple of industries with which CFX has a significant footprint. And then we're going to talk about some of the ways that we could perhaps assist you and your family in righting the ship and maybe getting on top of things so that 2021 is a significantly successful year for you and your family. First of all, on the left-hand side of the screen, e-learning. E-learning has kind of come from obscurity. You take a look at how many people now are familiar with the company or the brand name Zoom, and it would be many, many multiples more than people, let's say 24 months ago. And so as a result, we're seeing billions of dollars and thousands and thousands of people flow into this space. Of course, online universities are nothing new. Universities like Udemy and many other very competent places to go for education. And that really is going to be the cornerstone product for CFX. Their own online university, you'll learn more about in just a few minutes. But some of the statistics I think are worth mentioning. $325 billion. I think we're going to blow that number out of the water because of the circumstances of the last 18 months. Also, 40 to 60% less learning time than in a classroom environment. This is important. So while kids are getting forced out of the classroom and suffering all the challenges of not being able to socialize with their friends, at the very least, there is a silver lining, and that they can learn effectively in environments that they control, i.e. their homes, their bedrooms, etc. On the other side of the screen, of course, the global Forex market is absolutely immense. In fact, the numbers that you see in green, this is daily volume, $5.3 trillion. I almost said billion, $1 trillion. Those numbers are tough to quantify. They're certainly tough to wrap your head around. The difference between billions and trillions is very, very significant. Equities and futures market, as you all know, are absolutely massive markets in their own right. And of course, add all of those markets together, and the Forex market is larger again by a multiple of 8. And so it is very, very significant. Central banks, governments, the entire banking ecosystem, funds, the list goes on and on and on of participants in the global Forex market, including more than about 90 million retail, part-time enthusiastic traders. So tremendous sums of money in this market. In fact, many people ask me, well, CFX is growing so quickly, can they continue to trade for a growing number of individuals, and how could they possibly do that? Well, the answer is really on that previous slide. The fact that we are as a company with membership approaching 180 or 190,000 members, still a drop in the ocean. When you look at the volumes that we're traded compared to the volumes that many other large groups are trading. So there's plenty of opportunity for us not only to continue down this road, but also share this trading enthusiastically with people that we know, if they may also want to participate. It is the largest and most liquid financial market in the world. It's also historically proven to be recession-proof. So this is the first opportunity I would like to give members that have been using this platform for some time the chance to fire a note into the chat for guests and new members. If you can verify that you've had winning weeks, week after week after week, since the beginning of the COVID period, essentially all through 2020, January and on, please go ahead and verify that by putting a 1 in the chat. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that CFX wins all of their trades because, well, that's absolutely impossible, and they don't. I can tell you, though, that they do win a larger percentage than they lose. And so when all of that data is added together at the end of the week and those trading gains are pushed out to members for you to spend as you choose, we see a plus in front of the numbers as opposed to a negative in front of the numbers. Now, that doesn't guarantee that's going to be the case for every single week moving forward, but that has been the case up until now. And consistency really is the name of the game when you're looking for an income source that you can start to count on or rely on. We'll talk a little bit more about how they're doing what they're doing in just a few minutes. On the bottom row of these bullet points, there's a great deal of flexibility when it comes to the Forex market. You can leverage and you can compound, and that's very significant. We talked about financial principles in that 90-second video, and putting some of these principles to work for you will play a significant role in pulling yourself out of any financial challenges that you may be in, and doing that at an accelerated pace if you put some of these principles to work for you. And then this is a 5-day per week market. So unlike the cryptocurrency markets that are getting so much attention in the news these days, this is Monday to Friday. Very first markets open Monday morning, Sunday for many of you in Europe and South America or Africa, etc., when the Asian markets first start opening. And then the last market to close is the New York market Friday night. Okay, so let's blast forward from here. A little bit about the project. First of all, the purpose of the project. Now, the purpose I've mentioned every single call may sound a little bit altruistic to some people, because this really was meant to be a labor of love. Now, keep in mind, and many of you know the people that are behind this platform, and all of you will be familiar with them in just a couple of minutes. This is a project that was launched by a couple of individuals that had already reached most of their financial objectives as entrepreneurs at a fairly early age. And that's going to happen to some people. Some people, it's going to take your entire entrepreneurial career to hit all of your goals. Some of you may choose to retire without hitting all of your goals. These guys have been very, very fortunate and knocked some very significant home runs out of the park in some very early projects. And we'll talk a little bit more about those in a moment. But needless to say, because of that success, this really was a launch of something that was designed to help create success in a complicated market for individuals that perhaps don't have the time or the resources to do that on their own. The positioning of the company, you'll also learn in a couple of minutes, is really technology based. So you're not going to see a trading floor with 150 computers and 150 skilled professional traders in chairs staring at the screens all day. In fact, quite to the opposite of that. They focus on developing their own software and allowing that software to do most of the heavy lifting. And then the individuals, or technically the technicians behind the software, are the ones that are monitoring and managing trade activity on a Monday to Friday to make sure that all of their trading infrastructure, i.e. software, is operating as optimally as it can. So we'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes as well. But first, let's introduce you to the founders. Huáscar and Edwin, these are gentlemen that many of you have had an opportunity to meet already. In fact, pre-COVID, we were able to have our first official launch of the company in person in downtown Panama City, Panama. If there's anyone on the call that had an opportunity to go and speak with these gentlemen, go ahead and mention that in the chat as well. And I know that if you did go down, you also had an opportunity to tour their facilities, 10,000 square foot facilities that, if it weren't for, of course, COVID challenges, would already be ready for all of you to visit anytime you want to. We are getting very close to a delayed launch of that. In fact, a ribbon cutting ceremony is coming very soon. But before we get into those details, it's important you also understand that in addition to all of the trading operations that Edwin runs on a daily basis and the team that he has surrounded himself with, it's also important for you to understand that that team existed and worked together as a group before CFX existed. This is important. So when you're vetting or when you're doing your due diligence on a platform, for me anyway, it's always meant something to me to learn that the technology or the product of some kind of a product that allows a company to excel in their particular area existed before the company did. That it wasn't the case where individuals wanted to launch some sort of a home-based business and were trying to find a product to fill the void that the company has, but really quite the opposite, that the product was thriving before there was even any talk of launching a company. And that was the case here. So the EA, in fact, the very first EA that's serviced us so well in our first year of operation was actually developed pre-CFX, and these guys were making money with that pre-CFX. They also, of course, are surrounding themselves with a very capable and competent team On the programming side, building out back offices for you. In fact, the back office that members use every single day. All of the security and the firewalls that go around that to make sure that everything in your back office is safe and protected, has never been breached once. Even though there's multiple walls, not even the first one has ever been breached. And so that takes time, takes money, takes expertise. All of that is in place. So for a company as young as this is, there's a very significant staff that are surrounding these guys. And fortunately for all of us, these guys understand very well that you need to surround yourself with capable and competent people because launching a project, especially a global project of this endeavor, 2 or 3 people, not a chance. There's no way you'd be able to pull it off. All right, so we alluded to the offices before. We talked a little bit about the delays, but I know the ribbon cutting ceremony and dignitaries from Panamanian government, local officials, etc., will certainly be invited. I know the company was hoping to be able to invite members as well and turn this into a bit of an event. But if travel is being restricted still, as it is, it may have to be local members only. But that said, this was always meant to be an open door policy. So once that ribbon cutting is done, once the office is officially open and staff are in there and travel resumes for all of us, you'll be able to come and tour these facilities anytime you want to. If you want to meet specific staff members, you'll simply need to phone in advance and make sure they're there when you're going to be there. By the way, also, we're going to talk a little bit more about that online university that I mentioned in the very first or second slide. There's actually a space for 150 people, 150 to sit theater style for part of their high-level Forex education. If that's something that interests you, this will certainly be an office that will become familiar to you over time as well. Now, the reason I say that if it interests you is because most of the success, all of the success we've seen in the Forex market so far has all been done completely automated. In fact, it was a deliberate decision to launch the fully automated part of CFX's Forex offering first and launch the semi-automated and fully manual options in the future, primarily because most people would be interested in the fully automated version. Although we know that many of you are interested in developing the skills to learn to do this yourself and master trading so that you can take those skills anywhere in the world that you want to go. So we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about automated trading success. Take a look at the paragraph on the right-hand side of your screen and have a look at the last sentence. Our team of professionals has same thing on Friday, extensive experience in Forex trading and EA design and management. So as I was mentioning earlier, not only did the trade technology exist and that team was already in place, they're all under CFX management. So this is all tech that's being built, is owned and operated by the company. It's not being farmed out to third parties. It's not been a white label product. I can tell you that when I was kicking tires on this, if they were using a third party for their trade tech, I can't say that would be a deal breaker for me, but I probably would not have gotten involved, only because I've seen in the past individuals get involved in projects where the owners of the company don't own their technology, and you just don't have the control that you need as business owners to secure your future long term. It's just too much of a crapshoot if a company's not an expert at what they do and they're not in total control of their own tech and their own product. So it's critically important, certainly was for me when I was looking at this and considering getting involved. Now below, by the way, this tech that we're talking about, you can see EA design and management. If you're unfamiliar with that abbreviation EA, very simply, it means expert advisor. And it's just a fancy way of saying software. This is software that's been written to trade in the global Forex market. That's all it does. Forex, nothing else. Okay. And so the experts that designed that are the same individuals that manage it on a daily basis. And this is really what creates the consistency that we were able to authenticate for guests at the beginning of this presentation, when those of you who have seen consistent results every week put a 1 in the chat. I would much rather see consistent results that are smaller than 100% or 70%, 50% trading months followed by a 30% loss. It's the inconsistency, it's the big wins, but then followed up by the losses that really freak a lot of people out that are unfamiliar with the Forex market. And so there's a lot of time and energy that's gone into not only the development of this, but the way that it's managed on a regular basis so that we don't have a tough time sleeping on a daily and a weekly basis. A lot more consistency and keeping that risk as low as they possibly can. And there's a lot of things that they can do on the trading side to make sure that, of course, we have peace of mind using this on a weekly basis. Now, below that, you can see Web TV. In fact, on the right-hand side of the bottom of the screen, that's a Euro-Australian dollar trade. And that environment with which you're looking on the screen is called MetaTrader. If you're unfamiliar with that, you will become familiar with that over time. MetaTrader 4 is what that is precisely. And Web TV is something you can access from your smartphone. So when you go meet friends for lunch or you go meet friends for coffee, it's something you can very quickly pop open on your phone and you can show live trade activity that's happening between any number of currency pairs. Generally, you'll see a purple bar in the back office where you can select a variety of different pairs. Now, what you'll notice inside there is that the pairs are predominantly major and minor currency pairs. And if you don't know what that is, a very quick Google search will help you understand. But there are 8 major currency pairs. The majors are the ones that the US dollar is always involved in, USD, GBP. A minor pair would be, for example, a major currency like the CAD, Canadian dollar, or the euro, and the Great British pound. So the US is not involved. That's a minor pair, but it's still a highly traded pair. Exotic pairs tend to be more unusual currencies, New Zealand dollar versus the Taiwanese yen, Taiwanese dollar, for example. We typically stay away from those. The spread is usually larger. It's harder to be profitable on those currencies. Not impossible, of course, or people wouldn't trade them, but we tend to stay away from them. You'll see consistency is obviously of the utmost importance, and so they stick with those lower spreads, makes it easier for them to be profitable. Also, you'll notice that, well, you won't notice, but generally pairs are being closed at the end of every trading day. So generally not open trades overnight. That avoids swap fees. That also keeps costs down. That helps with profitability. And generally over weekends, all trades are closed. Oftentimes, a really strong trending winning trade for you on a Friday night, then the market's closed. If you leave that open, when it opens again on Monday, things can change very quickly. And what was an awesome trade for you ends up being a kick in the rear end. So all those get traded at the end of, closed at the end of every trading day as well. Okay, short video for you. So the Academy, again, think this is an online university. This, first of all, in the video you just finished watching, you saw a computer screen with a gentleman in a gray coat. Now, this is the way this curriculum was originally being designed for all member consumption. And so this was going to be very much like an anchorman or a weatherman broadcast sort of format where they're speaking to the camera, and over their left or right shoulders are graphics to help us understand exactly what it is they're talking about. However, again, with COVID throwing a little bit of disruption into the work, those actors were not allowed to travel to where those recording studios were. So we got a third of the way through that curriculum and had to put the brakes on that. So what's been done now and what is being done behind the scenes, very simply, is our own in-house graphics team, graphics artists, are putting a graphic image together for all of this curriculum instead of live professional actors. And you've heard me say this before, it's probably going to end up being a blessing in disguise, because transferring all of this curriculum to multiple languages, with us being in more than 100 countries around the world, I think is going to be much easier to do graphically than hiring 30, 40, 50, 80 different actors all to read the same curriculum. When you see the immensity of what's going into this, I think you'll see this roll out in multiple languages much faster. So the curriculum itself is broken into 3 specific series. You can see at the top the Elemental series, then the Advanced Professional, and the Supreme series. And modules, a very high number, not 1, 2, 3, or 4, but a high number of modules are actually going to fill those series. And in fact, there'll be quizzes at the end of every single module as well. And that's going to pull you from one section to the next. Now, that's going to be especially important if you fall into category 2 or category 3, and that is you either want to be involved in the trading process in a semi-automated way, or you want to be fully immersed in the trading process and actually learn trading mastery on your own, digging right into the psychology of trading, etc. So that's where you'll probably be touring offices. Apologies. You'll be touring the office, and you'll be focusing on learning curriculum directly from the traders themselves, professional teachers right in the Panama office when that office opens up. So you'll have the choice to decide whether you want to be leaning on the automation completely or be engaged in the process in either partially or fully. And you'll have plenty of time to decide what's most appropriate for you. So these trade packages, this is currently how you engage in all of the curriculum for the Academy. If you take a look at each one of these trading packs, there's an icon right down the center of the screen, and there's a number. Now that number is represented in US dollars, $300, $500, etc. And you're looking at the first third of what's called a trading pack ladder. So there's 15 steps in this ladder. Remember the 3 different series we talked about in the Academy. There was the Elemental series, and that's what you're looking at now. 5 different trade packages representing the Elemental series. And then there's going to be 5 more representing the Advanced series, and then the last 5 representing the Supreme series. So there are 3 lines of text on the right-hand side of each one of these icons. So let's break this down for you so you understand exactly how this works. First of all, Academy pack. First line, someone's wanting control of the screen. I think, should I give it to him? I'm not sure what's going to happen. We can roll the dice. Oh, you guys couldn't see that. I apologize. Something that popped up on the screen. Someone was requesting to take control of the screen. I was thinking about giving it to him and seeing what happened. Okay, so there's these 5 series, or rather 5 different steps that you see in front of you now. The Academy pack, you'll notice, is representing 30% of the value of each one of those trade packages. So for example, if you take a look at a $300 trade package, Academy pack 90, well, 90 is 30% of $300, $90. So you can see from the $300 trade package, $90 or 30% of the value unlocks the first section of the online university, the Academy. And you can see in the next sentence, trade pool deposit, the remaining, which is $210. Well, that's actually going to go to work for you in the global Forex market using the technology that we've been talking about for the past 10 or 15 minutes. The last line says leadership program. And you'll notice the leadership program number, 150 PV, represents 50% of the value of the trade package. $300 trade package, 150 PV for the leadership. $500 trade package, 250 PV, etc. So that is something that will become important at the very end of our presentation in maybe 20 minutes from now. All right, so if we look at each one of these, take a look at the $1,000 trade pack, for example. 30% of $1,000 is $300. The remaining 70% is $700. 50% of the amount for the leadership program is 500 PV. That's personal volume points. Okay. When we move to the Advanced series, there's the next 5 steps up the trade package ladder. 5,000, 7,000, 10, 15, and 20,000. And if you take a look at the text on the right-hand side, the mathematics is exactly the same for each one of these. If you look at the $10,000 trade package, for example, in the center, 30% of the total value is $3,000. Now, what you need to understand is that $3,000 is going to give you access to the curriculum for the 10K trade package and every single trade package that precedes it. In other words, you can start wherever you want to in the trade package ladder. You can start at $300. You can also start at $3,000. You can start at $10,000 or more. If you start at $10,000, that $3,000 trade package or Academy package is going to unlock the 10K curriculum, the 7K curriculum, the 5K curriculum, and everything that precedes it. So you can move through all of that from start to finish. Now, in the Supreme series is the last 5 steps in the trade package ladder. Now, here's the most important thing to understand about this trade package ladder. It was deliberately designed so that you can start anywhere you want to start, and you can climb this ladder using gains that you're earning through participation in the platform without going back into your pocket, you can move your way from wherever you started till the end of the trade package ladder, which is a $100,000 trade package. In fact, some of you in this call are probably have worked your way up to a $100,000 trade package. If you have, you can mention that in the chat. And what I'd love for those of you who have been using the platform for a while to go ahead and do is let our guests and new members know where you started in the trade package ladder, how long ago you started there, and where you are right now. And that's going to give guests a real sense of what's possible and how much time it takes to accomplish some of those things. I'm just going to poke my head into the chat as well while you're dropping that stuff in there. Greatly appreciated. Okay, that's excellent. So we do have members already on a 100K pack. That's fantastic. And excellent. Thank you very much for all of you for sharing. Those of you who are typing right now, thank you very much as well. Okay, so what's most important, again, is it is the intention of the owners of the platform for all of you eventually to be trading on a $100,000 trade package and to get there without spending your own capital, without charging your credit card and without draining your bank account, but rather than using this platform and climbing that ladder on your own. Now, how long is that going to take you? Well, that's entirely up to you because there are multiple ways that you can participate in this. But even if you are focusing on trading only and you're a part-time participant in this and took you 2 or 3 or 4 years to work your way up to a $100,000 trade package without spending any more of your own capital, that would certainly be an achievement worth mentioning, worth accomplishing. Okay, so that brings us to the middle, the transitional section of this presentation, where we're going to shift our focus from talking about the technology and the people behind the technology and how you can use that technology yourself, including the curriculum, which is our primary or cornerstone product of from the Academy. We're going to transition to exactly how one can earn, multiple ways that one can earn using this platform. Now, we're going to focus first on gains that every single member receives, regardless of how they choose to participate. And that's something that we refer to as bear capital. Bear capital is a term that we give for gains that are made through trading activity. And if you take a look at the paragraph at the top of the screen, this is participation through trading. So remember, when you purchase any trade package, 70% of the value of that trade package was actually being traded on your behalf. And that's where your Monday to Friday gains are going to come from. Now, the bull capital is something that's optional. Bull capital is something that you'll receive if you choose to share the CFX platform with at least one other person. And you can see in that second paragraph, there's a number of bonuses listed there that you'll have access to and be able to earn from if you choose to share CFX with another individual. So this is entirely optional. With bear capital, you can earn 2 times the value of your trade package, and bull capital can actually pay you an additional 2 times the value of that very same trade package. So for example, if you are trading, let's say a $500 trade package, bear capital trading gains can accumulate day by day by day, paying out at the end of the week, and those weeks can add up and give you $1,000 from your $500 starting point, your $500 trade package. Bull capital could give you an additional $1,000 from that same $500 trading package. So you could earn $1,000 or you could earn $2,000 depending on how you choose to participate. And then the last paragraph, rank levels, we'll talk a little bit more about that PV and the leadership program as we wrap up. But before we get into that, I think it's important to give you a bit of an overview. So let's talk about these bear and bull benefits just in a little more detail to add more clarity to this for you. Now, on the left-hand side of your screen, we're using $1,000 trade package as an example. So if you remember the math, bear capital, this was the 70%, pardon me, 70% of the $1,000 trade package going to work for you in the Forex market, okay? That means $700, 70% of 1,000. Now, this can continue to grow. You could earn a full 2 times or 200%, which would be $2,000 on a $1,000 trade package in bear gains. And bull, remember, bull is the remaining 30% that's going to a product purchase. And that product purchase is then being shared with members in 2 different bonuses. One's called a fast start and the other is called a unilevel bonus. So remember, bull capital is optional. And the $300 in this case, which is 30% of a $1,000 trade package, you can see is being broken up evenly into two bonuses, fast start and unilevel. So we'll describe those in just a couple of minutes. And those bonuses can continue to accrue and pay you until you earn 2 times the value of your starting pack. So in this model, you can earn either $2,000 or $4,000, depending on how you choose to participate. So at this point, there's 3 different options for you. Now, you're going to, with option number 1, you can withdraw all of your gains. You'll pay a withdrawal fee, and you can put the rest of the money in your pocket, walk away from the platform. There is a second option where you can withdraw all your gains, pay a withdrawal fee, and from the money you're about to throw in your pocket, you can take $1,000 of that and purchase another $1,000 trade package. Worked okay for you the first time, so you may choose to try it again. There is a third option, though, and that is that you withdraw your gains, pay a withdrawal fee, and from your gains, you can take the next step up the trade package ladder. So if you don't recall what that is, in the Elemental series, what came after 1K was 2K, $2,000 trade pack. Now, why would somebody want to do that? And that's the example most of our members that are participating in the chat also were sharing with you as well. There's a very good reason why they choose to do that. If 70% of the value of a trade package is going to work for you in the Forex market, and you're on a $2,000 trade package, that means you're trading $1,400 versus $700 on a $1,000 trade package. So it stands to reason that on days where you gain, you'll gain more. In fact, you would gain twice as much. And so this is generally why our members, whenever they have the opportunity to withdraw, they choose to climb the trade package ladder from $2,000, then to $3,000, then to $5,000, and so on and so forth. In every single trade package, 70% of the value is being traded on your behalf, and therefore your trading gains on a daily basis are getting larger with luck, with hope. So that's the reason why members are doing what they're doing. So let's break down each one of these bullets in a little more detail. First, let's talk about trading activity, because this is something that everybody participates in. It's a benefit that everybody receives. So what you'll find at the end of every trading day is that all winning trades and all losing trades are added together. And then from that total, you'll see that CFX themselves will take a trading fee, a success fee for the work that they're doing behind the scenes. And then the balance is being shared with every member that has an active trade package. That's it. Very simple. So for example, when it's all averaged out, if we have a 1.3% trading day, for example, every single member will receive 1.3%. Fair right across the board, even right across the board. You'll also notice there's a circle in the center of the screen that says up to 15% per week. Now, that's not a guarantee. What that's saying is that they will never pay more than 15% in a single week. For those of you who are traders, you know 15% is a monster week. So that's not much of a liability. However, it still is a cap. And so it's important we mention that. If we hit 15% on a Thursday, on Friday, you'd see a goose egg in your trade result. Nothing would come to you because the company's keeping all trading gains beyond 15%. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about bonuses. Now, remember, these bonuses are optional. You won't access these bonuses, with the exception of one of them we'll discuss last. You won't access these bonuses unless you choose to share CFX with someone else. Okay, so first of all, fast start bonus. Now, what is a fast start bonus? Well, very simply, you recommend the platform to another person, and you're going to receive 50% of the 30% that was earmarked for the academy, the product sale. So revenue is generated, product is sold. Half of that money goes to a fast start bonus. Half of 30% is 15%, 1/5. So for example, if you share CFX with me and I choose to get involved in a $1,000 trade package, 15% of $1,000 is $150. You'll receive that right away. But here's the best part. Later in time, as I choose to climb the trade package ladder myself, to move from 1,000 to 2,000, and from 2,000 to 3, and from 3 to 5, and 5 to 7, and so on, every single time I take a step up, you're going to earn another 15% of that step. So from 3,000 to 5,000 is a $2,000 step. Well, you'll make $300. 10,000 to 15, that's a $5,000 step. Well, you're going to make $450. Okay. Sorry, apologies. $5,000 step is $750. So you'll continue to earn fast start bonuses as I climb the trade package ladder. But it's not just me. Of course, any number of people that you choose to share this with will continue to kick out fast start bonuses for you. So this is a very powerful bonus because not only does it grow over time, but it's reoccurring. You're going to earn it over and over and over again. Now, the other half of that product sale, the unilevel bonus, remember, this is a team bonus. So in the fast start bonus, you're receiving all of that 15%. In this bonus, as a team bonus, that 15% is being shared amongst a number of people. Now, that's a positive thing for those of you who choose to build teams because it means that you can earn a little bit from the activity of a lot of people. And you're leveraging yourself essentially in this bonus and potentially can pay yourself very well. Some of you we know are getting absolutely fantastic unilevel bonuses. It is important you understand, though, that participation is not a guarantee of success. One obviously must share the platform with others, and they must do the same in order for this to start to generate sales that will populate this bonus. Let me show you how it works. You can see in the center of the screen, levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are automatically unlocked in the unilevel. Now, if you shared CFX with me and you immediately earn a fast start bonus, I would also get a position in your unilevel. And because you shared this with me, I joined with your link in your back office. I'm automatically going to be on your level 1. And if you share this with 20 or 30 other people, they would also all be on your level 1. We would all be side by side. And so as we started to share with other friends, that would create a level 2 for you. And as they started sharing with friends, that would create a level 3 for you, and so on and so forth. And so that organic growth can continue as friends share with friends. Now, one of the things, of course, we've noticed is that that organic growth is happening very quickly. And there's several reasons for that. One is that there's no monthly cost. We often refer to as an auto ship, where your credit card is automatically billed on a monthly basis. I think especially now during this COVID era, people that are being met with a great deal of financial insecurity probably cannot afford to have $100 or $200 or $300 come off their credit card every month. And so the fact that CFX never, ever charged anyone's card, and yet through very creative design, we're still able to architect bonuses that pay over and over and over is certainly a testament to their ingenuity and creativity in designing a plan like this. So levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all 10% levels. 10% of what? Well, 10% of whatever contribution arrives when someone joins the unilevel. For example, I joined, remember, with my $1,000 trade package, and you received a $150 fast start bonus, 15%. Well, another $150 simultaneously is going into this bonus. So if I'm on your level 1, which is a 10% level, you would earn $15 of the $150. And the rest would be dispersed through levels 1 through 10. So, for example, when you reach the rank of executive, and we'll talk about how you do that in just a few minutes, those are 20% payout levels. When you reach the rank of manager, you unlock levels 7 and 8. Those are 5% each. Director is 5%, and President's Club is also 5%. Now, if you add all of these together, that's 4 times 10%, 2 times 20%, and 4 more times 5%. That's a total of 100%. So for every dollar that goes into this bonus, you know exactly where that dollar is being allocated. Okay. So if someone else sponsored me and I ended up on a level 5 in your business, and I join with a $1,000 trade pack, it means $150 into this bonus, means $30 for you. The rest of the $150 being shared amongst all of those other levels. If I join on your level 7, for example, and $150 went into this bonus because I joined with a $1,000 trade package, that means $7.50 for you. Now, here's the cool thing. You're going to earn from every single person that ends up in your unilevel, regardless of whether you share this with them or someone else shared this with them. It doesn't matter where they live. It doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter how they get involved. But the best part is, not only do you earn the first time that they join CFX and purchase a trade package, but every single time that they choose to climb the trade package ladder, that's going to trigger another bonus for you in your unilevel as well. And that's why those unilevel bonuses are growing so large for so many of you. The other thing that's important to understand is for a President's Club ambassador and global ambassador, you'll notice there's also a global bonus. Now, this is important because with a platform like this that is growing as quickly as it is, many of you are already reaching level 7, 8, 9, and 10 in your unilevel growth. And so it's important that you have an opportunity, and you know this ahead of time, where you can get paid on a level 11 all the way through to infinity. It doesn't matter whether you're where you hit level 30 on your level, or hit level 40 or 50 or 100. You know that regardless of the shape, how wide that is and how deep that is, you're going to have an opportunity to earn from all of the activity inside your unilevel bonus. And it's reoccurring over and over again. Now, just like those first two bonuses that are reoccurring, so is this last one we're going to talk about. There's one primary difference, and that difference is that every member is eligible to earn in the forced matrix. Every member. In other words, you do not necessarily need to personally refer anyone to CFX to put yourself in a position to make money from this bonus. And in fact, if there probably isn't, because generally customers that are not building are often not on presentations. This is usually for those of you who are sharing this with others. But if there are any customers that are in CFX, and if you're earning matrix earnings and you obviously have never referred anyone to this, and you want to make a mention that in the chat, please feel free to do so. Now, the structure of this bonus is very different than the last one we just talked about. The unilevel, remember the unilevel, I can personally refer one person, I could personally refer 5, 10, 20, 100, it really doesn't matter. And they will all be on my level 1. However, with this bonus, with this matrix bonus, in fact, you can see the numbers following the title forced matrix, 3x10. Well, 3x10 is giving you a sense of the structure of this bonus. So for example, in the previous bonus, I could refer 10, 20, 30, 50 people, and they're all on my level 1 for my unilevel, but that's not possible on my forced matrix. Forced matrix, you can see level 1 only has room for 3 people, hence the number 3 and the 3x10, and it's 10 levels deep. And that's the structure of your bonus. It's a fixed structure. Now, the reason it's a fixed structure is what's so interesting. Remember, I said a moment ago, you can earn from this bonus even if you're a customer and never shared this with anybody. Well, how would that be possible? If you never shared this with anyone, no one is ever going to drop down below you. Well, that's not necessarily true. Because if your top level is only has room for 3 people, but you personally referred 5 or 10 to CFX, where do those other people go? Well, they're going to go down underneath those first 3. And if those first 3 friends, and of course your level 2 is their level 1, they only have room for 3 people on their level 1. And so this is where you'll start to see a bit of a stacking effect. And if you're part of a fast moving team, you'll have even a better chance as a customer of having individuals drop down into your matrix because there's nowhere else for them to go. And so this bonus builds out in multiples of 3. 3 people on level 1 means 9 on level 2, means 27 and 81 and 243 on level 5 and so on. Okay, so this builds out in multiples of 3. In fact, if you were looking in as simple a way as possible in changing your finances in the most dramatic way possible, you could focus on this 2 actions that would make a huge impact to your quality of financial life. And those 2 actions are as follows. Select 3 friends that you want to work on CFX with and support them as they do the same. And that would fill up your level 1, and then their friends would fill up your level 2. And if they follow those 2 steps as well, they're going to look for 3 friends to work with as well. And that will continue to fill up level 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., and so on. So the action steps for an individual are the same as every other individual. Find 3 friends to work with, support them as they do the same. What becomes really quite incredible is the numbers. Take a look at the numbers on levels 7, 8, 9, and 10. They look absolutely massive. But when you think about it, each one of those is just one person who's selecting 3 friends to work with. And so over time, these bonuses have the ability to pay you in ways that sometimes are even difficult to imagine when you first get involved. And that's one of the neat things about a matrix bonus like this. Now, what feeds this bonus? Because if you recall, it was a product sale, the academy or that online university sale that was feeding your fast start bonus and your unilevel bonus. Well, that does not feed this bonus. So where does the money from this come from? Well, first of all, as we mentioned in our overview, there was 3 ways that you could move forward when you reached 2 times bear and 2 times bull. And each of those had withdraw your gains, pay a withdrawal fee, and then take the next action that's appropriate for you. This now is the withdrawal fee that we were referring to a few minutes ago. Take a look at paragraph number 1 on the left. So the matrix is fed from a 20% withdrawal fee. So it doesn't matter what you're withdrawing, you're going to receive a 20% withdrawal fee on that. Take a look at paragraph 2. That 20% withdrawal fee is divided amongst 3 bonuses. Half of it goes into a matrix bonus. That's what you see on the screen in front of you now. 10% goes to a matching bonus, and the remaining 40% goes to leadership rank bonuses. What's missing from there? Corporate. Corporate is not receiving any of that. Take a look at the bottom paragraph with the caution sign. This is not a profit center for CFX. This is unique and it's deliberate. This is meant for you, for me, for all of the members of the company to create a reoccurring income source any single time and every single time anyone in your genealogy, in your matrix genealogy, chooses to make a withdrawal. So let me show you exactly how you earn. We're going to use this level 7 as an example. There's room for 2,187 people in level 7. Now, that does not mean that you will have 2,187 people. Remember, participation is not a guarantee of success. Now, that said, if everyone shares this with 3 friends who do the same, well, in time, you will fill up all of your level 7. For this example, let's say that one person in your level 7 is making a $1,000 withdrawal. $1,000 withdrawal, 20% withdrawal fee, that's a $200 fee on their $1,000 withdrawal. And if half of that $200 fee feeds this matrix bonus, that means $100 is going into this bonus. Now take a look at the green numbers on the right-hand side of the graphic, 3, 3, 3, 5, 6, 10, 30, 20, 10, 10. Adding those all together also equals 100%. So you know every penny that goes into this matrix, you know exactly where that money goes, where it's accounted for, okay? Now, level 3 is your highest payout level, which is why I use it in the example. If $100 is going into this bonus and the person doing the withdrawal is on your level 7, that means you're going to receive $30 of the 100. The other $70 will be shared amongst the other 9 levels. That's how it works, very simple. So not only will you earn a bonus through the matrix every time anybody in your matrix makes a withdrawal, but every single time those same people make a withdrawal, you're going to earn over and over and over again. Okay, there's also a matching bonus element to this, so it's very simple and easy to follow. If you personally refer anyone to CFX, if you recall, you're going to earn a fast start bonus, and you're going to keep earning fast start bonuses as they climb the trade package ladder. Well, in addition to earning that fast start bonus, you're also going to get a 10% match of their matrix earnings, okay? So if you share this with 1 friend, 10 friends, 100 friends, it doesn't matter. You're going to get a 10% match of every single person that you personally referred. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see all of the trade package icons that trigger an unlocking of another level. Remember, when the unilevel, we talked about executive rank and director rank and manager rank and so on, and you're hitting those ranks and you're unlocking your unilevel. Well, we couldn't do that here because remember, customers and business builders both are allowed to earn in the matrix. And a business builder, of course, will hit ranks, but a customer will never hit ranks because they don't personally refer anybody. So they had to create another mechanism that was fair for customers to be able to unlock their entire matrix. And so that's done simply by climbing the trade package ladder. $5,000 trade package, for example, unlocks levels 1 through 6. You reach $10,000 trade package, you've just unlocked level 7, and so on and so forth, up until $30,000 trade package gives you access to the entire matrix bonus. Okay, last thing for us to discuss, and that's the leadership program. Now, you remember, through when we were talking about our trade package ladder, starting at $300, ending up at $100,000, remember there was 3 lines of text next to each one of those trade package icons. One said Academy Pack, the second said Trade Pool Deposit, and the third said Leadership Program, and it had a little PV at the end of it. And this is exactly what we were talking about. Hitting that executive. Why is it important to hit executive? Well, if you remember on the unilevel, level 5 and 6 were unlocked when you hit executive. And if you also recall, they were the highest paying levels, 20% on each level. So it's really is advantageous to make sure you hit executive because you're adding significantly to your unilevel earnings when you do so. Now, how do you hit it? Well, first of all, 500 PVP. Now remember, PVP, personal volume points, and it was a 2-to-1 ratio from the trade package that you're on. In other words, To be an executive, you need to be on a $1,000 trade package as a minimum. You need to refer a minimum of 3 friends to the platform, and your minimum group volume PGV requirement is 25,000 over a 30-day rolling period. So imagine, for example, you share this with a minimum of 3 friends. So they're all side by side, right? One beside the other. And they're starting 3 different teams as they share with friends who share with friends who share with friends. Every single person that's getting involved has a volume, a PV volume attached to their trade package. All of those volumes are being added together over the first 30 days. And if you reach 25,000 with a maximum of 15,000 coming from one of those 3 teams, well, you hit executive your first month. Okay? Now, here's the best part. It's a 30-day rolling period. That doesn't mean March comes and all of your points go to 0 and you start over again. What it means is your points accumulate Monday to Friday, actually Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week. Your points are going to accumulate for the next 30 straight days. And on day 31, new points will add if new points are accumulating. And the points from day 1 will drop off. On day 32, new volume, day 2 volume drops off. Day 33, new volume, day 3 volume drops off. So it's that 30-day rolling, which means you're never having to start at 0 at the beginning of a month. It makes hitting that rank much, much easier for you. Okay, so that is very important. And I think it's something worthy of all of you as an accomplishment if hitting executive is something that matters to you. Manager, how do you hit manager? Well, you're an expert at hitting executive because you just did it. Help 2 other people hit executive, you become a manager. Help 2 people become a manager, you become a director. Help 3 people become a director, you become a president. That's how you climb this leadership program. That's how you climb the rank ladder. Okay. Now, the other thing worth discussing is that there are bonuses. Remember that 20% withdrawal fee, half of that 20% withdrawal fee paid your matrix bonus. 10% paid the matching, and that leaves 40% left over. And that's paying all of these bonuses. So one of those bonuses is a $900 iPad Air. That's that paper thin iPad with a collapsible keyboard. And you're going to receive one of those when you hit the rank of executive. Of course, you have the option of receiving 75% of the value of this in BTC paid to your wallet directly, if that's something you would rather. When you hit manager, remember, manager is you assisting 2 people from 2 different lines of lineage becoming executives. That's a $10,000 prize. That's significant. $10,000 prize, his or her, and it's a stainless day-date Rolex. And of course, you can take 75% of the value of that if you choose as well. Travel, this is for 2, you with a companion, $15,000, 5-star, anywhere in the world. So once you're ready, I'm sure cabin fever is hitting for many, many people in many countries. Once you're ready, you can, of course, bank this until you are ready, or you can take 75% of the value as well. And now, anything that Porsche manufactures, $100,000 worth USD. What's really important about hitting this rank, while that's a fantastic prize, is that, remember, it also unlocks that global bonus. That's the first step of the global bonus. So this is where you're earning now on your unilevel for level 11 all the way through to infinity as well. And the same thing with the ambassador. In fact, we just had a new ambassador last week. So that's $200,000 towards anything that Ferrari manufactures, or of course they can take BTC, and then $500,000 towards anything Lamborghini manufactures when you reach global ambassador. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for your time and attention. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. I hope it's an absolutely fantastic week for you. And also for those of you who are contributing to the chat, thank you very much for taking time to do that, making the effort to do that. Those of you who are guests, I would encourage you simply to get back to the person who asked you to watch this presentation and let them know of those 2 options, earning bear benefits or earning bear and bull benefits, which are most appropriate for you. Obviously, you don't have all the answers yet, but you do understand very clearly what your needs may be and how either one of those 2 options or both of them could support you in those needs. So let your friends know how you would like to move, and they'll help you get started the right way. With that, thanks, everyone. I hope it's an awesome week, as I mentioned a moment ago. And I will speak to you at the same time, same link on Friday. Thanks.